TNG classes, session number 3. We're still breaking down what we've been breaking down in sessions 1 and 2. We're still going to be talking about GDI. I know I really promised you guys I was going to go more into tags and into categories and really some technical how to do stuff in the next session. But what we're actually going to do is we're going to push that to session number 4. While we're doing these TNG classes, I want to insert something here. Okay. And this was actually going to be another video. I decided, well, this kind of fits in with classes. This is a lesson. This is something that we talk about with Top Networkers Group, team over company. Please understand that right now in the industry, there are certain teams, when we look around the industry, that have been doing pretty well for several years now. And many of these teams came up in old school network marketing companies. Now, what that means is they have really good training. So they are very good at sponsoring people. They're very good at working together to grow teams. And because of this reason, I would say over the past 5 years, we've seen many of these teams jumping around from company to company, and they're making money, right? Now, look, I don't want to name names, but I might have to. And it's only for example purposes. It's not to throw shade in any way. I'm not saying is there anything wrong. This is America. If you and your team of professional network marketers want to go from company to company, if you want to sell people on the dream and tell them focus on this company, knowing good and well that most of them aren't at your level and most of them aren't developing the skills that they really need to be good at this kind of thing. Because you know that, right? Right? I mean, all you super doing well network marketers, you know who I'm talking to. You and your teams, you're making money, you're doing well, but you're feeding people a line of bull below you. See, listen, we all know leaders talking. Leaders have leadership meetings and leadership circles, and it's a must for generals to meet separately from the rest of the Army. However, what's being discussed in those meetings, that's the difference between Top Networkers Group and everybody else. See, in our leadership meetings, our conversations are about how can we help more people make more money. It's not just about how can we help ourselves. It's not, man, I got to eat. Because look, some of these people, they don't have jobs. And if a company that they're promoting goes out of business or terminates them or whatever may have happened to some of these teams, they lose their money. They might have a couple of streams going here and there that they're building silently because, again, they're trying to do it the best way they know how. I think many of them mean well for the most part. I think just what happens is ego takes over and they look for the shortest route to get right back to where they were. Right? Okay. So we're talking about how followers are real leaders, right? Let's get into it because this is important. See, whatever I'm about to break down in all these sessions for TNG classes, it doesn't make any bit of difference if you, the listener, doesn't follow what's being shared. If you're not following the system, if you're not following the group, it's not going to do you a lick of good. You can be signed up. And if you're a lead, meaning that you haven't unlocked our free level, then guess what? Guess what? You're not going to make money with the team. You aren't following. You aren't doing what we're asking you to do. Real leaders follow. And the reason I wanted to start off with what I was talking about with these teams of people who are making money is because there's loyalty in that core. See, each one of these teams are about 10 to 15, sometimes 20 people deep. Most of the time it's about 10 people though, 10 people at the core. With most leadership, and I'm talking about real leadership, like the top money earners in the industry, if you really pay attention, they have about 9 to 10 people around them. And they've been moving together. And I'm telling you, these folks come to me all the time. They want me to participate. And I don't speak the same language that they speak. And I'm not trying to throw no shade. I'm just being honest. Not everybody is thinking about everybody. Okay? If you're a network marketer in 2015, you no longer have to be in one company. That's not the case anymore. But you do have to be with the team. See, there's a difference between being in multiple streams of income by yourself and being invested in multiple streams of income with a team. There's a difference between everybody doing their own thing and let's all do the same thing. Let's all be in the same streams of income. Let's unite. Let's come together. See, that's different. And if you're not following that, you're not a leader. See, every single person who's come through Top Networkers Group who left because they weren't willing to follow. They wanted to do their own thing. They wanted to make money faster. They wanted to look out for self. They weren't worried about the team. They weren't worried about doing what really helps everyone make money. See, here's one of the challenges in MLM that all of us face. None of us work for our uplines, right? And yet, at the same time, when we help our upline make money, it puts our upline in a better position to help the team. Now, this is what's happening with these top money earners. Most of them are in the position that they're in because of their teams. Not the leadership. I mean, even though that's part of it, that's a huge part of it. Because they stick together and they work together, they grow a team which helps put them in a position financially to now go around on boats and in cars and get on cruises and have parties and do videos and show lifestyle. That's because of their teams. But what happens all too often is these leaders get propped up and they forget about the people who propped them up, right? And so this creates animosity between all the network marketers who are at the top. They're like, well, I don't want to push so-and-so up. They might not look out for me. I don't want to push this person up. They might not look out for me. Look, folks, that's why we do what we do. We're sorting for leaders. See, when we have leaders who are doing what we're asking, now we know that we have people who are all on the same page, and together we can now go out and build a team, and this team is going to make more money than other teams are making because those who are actually willing to go through the loops and those who are actually willing to do the stuff that we're asking them to do are going to discover things that other people just won't. And only those of you who've gone through it can understand what I mean. And if you're sitting there lost, like, huh? What's he talking about? You haven't gone through it. You haven't unlocked the free level. You haven't got to the $10 level. Again, sessions 1 and 2, TNG classes, we're dealing mostly with setting up GDI and some of the things that we're going to be doing with this powerful platform. But we're also talking about all things Top Networkers Group. And that includes our 1MLM system. That includes the programs that are inside of the system. And to really participate with us in the GDI opportunity, you have to have unlocked the $10 level. But again, that's going to sound like a bunch of hooly-hoo to anybody who hasn't gone through the system, who doesn't really understand what we're talking about. So again, TNG classes is really for Top Networkers Group. It's really for our leaders. It's really for the people who are paying attention, who are listening, right? It's almost code language. Like a person on the outside can listen and not hear and not understand anything that we just said. That's awesome. That's awesome. See, because again, what we're doing is, it's going to help so many people, but only those who are meant to help, only those who are meant to understand are going to go through the hoops and the loops and to uncover what we have for you. So what do we have for you? We have training, real training, old school training, such as how to sponsor people. Okay. Listen, folks, I can join any opportunity and within 30 days, build a list and start signing folks up. In fact, I've already built a list. And oftentimes when I do join new stuff, I can really just let the list know, hey, I'm in such and such. You might want to take a look. And again, because I know what language to use, signups aren't a problem. Signups aren't a challenge. What tends to be a challenge for me are the same challenges that other network marketers face. That is, you sign people up in something and they're not sure if they want to follow. They kind of want to do their own thing, right? They want to, try their own methods. They want to build their own sites. They want to try to do everything but duplicate. They want to do everything their own way. And so you start talking to them about simple concepts, old school concepts like sponsoring people, building lists and whatnot. They're not doing any of that. They don't have Aweber. They're not using Stifort, which is in our system. They have no way to capture leads, even though there's tons of training out there about it. Even though we talk about it in Top Networkers Group, again, we have a program in our $50 level, Stifort Profits. It's something that we teach you. We tell you, collect names, collect lists. They're not using social media the way we train them. We create videos that say, look, ask these 5 questions to yourself while you're using social networking sites. Watch this video multiple times so you can understand how to interact with other people on social networking sites. And what do we see? People doing their own stuff. So signing people up isn't a problem for professionals. But everyone that wants to do their own way and do it their own, they're not learning, they're not listening. These are the idiots that we see in the industry, and I'm just being honest. Because it's insane to continually do stuff that isn't working. If you're not able to sponsor people at a decent rate, something in your approach is off. Get a coach, get a sponsor, and then follow what they tell you. So again, Top Networkers Group, are you a professional or not? Are you asking yourself 5 questions as you're using social media? If you're lost, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you really working with the group? Are you really following? Are you telling me that you didn't watch social networking for money, right? You should know those 5 questions. You should be doing that with every single social network that you're on, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Pinterest, whether it's TSU, right? You name a social network, those are 5 things you should be doing on them. Whether we're talking about IBO Toolbox or I Am Faceplate, which I'm going to be a little more specific about in some of these forthcoming TNG trainings, because I really want to break those platforms down and talk more about how you can use them effectively. However, if you're not even asking yourself those 5 questions, right? I mean, like this is basic stuff. So again, sponsoring people, if you're struggling with that, you should be in class. You should be following training and teaching and advice of other people. Here's what most folks say. They say, yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, so-and-so told me that. Yeah, I've had that explained to me before. But are you doing it? And the answer for most of you is no. But the problem is you lie to yourself. You say, yeah, I'm doing it. Or you make excuses. I tried that. It didn't work. So I started doing my own thing. Real leaders are followers. I want you guys to do some homework. I'm going to take you to YouTube. Let's screen share. Okay. I want you guys to do some homework. I want you to look up a video on YouTube. It might be on our channel as well. It's called The First Follower. The First Follower. Okay. Here it is. And I need you to watch this video. I need you to comment on the video, TNG classes, so I'll know you watched The First Follower. And I need you to tell me what The First Follower does. Now, some of you who comment later, you'll have an advantage because other people may or may not have answered the question correctly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to allow you to simply comment. I'm not going to answer or respond to your comments. So if you're wrong, I'm not going to answer that on the wall. I'll probably contact you personally to actually, you might want to rewatch it again if you got that part wrong. Watch The First Follower. Understand how a movement is built, how Top Networkers Group is really going to change the world in the industry when we have people who are following. Okay. You know, following is not about you doing your own thing. That's not following. That's why I want you to watch this video. I want you to read and see you on the next session of TNG classes.